Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the internet where your cesspool is my jacuzzi. I'm here with Bruce from Oregon. We're going to talk about the letter Sarah Boone wrote after her sentencing. Apparently, it was penned on Friday the 6th. So we'll go over that. Rosalind Duke says, I finally got my panties out of the twist and ready to have second-hand embarrassment for Sarah. I mean, I think we all are, right? Give me 1 second, guys.
That is correct. Ladies and gentlemen, what day is it? Wednesday?
It is Wednesday because it was trash day.
Ooh.
Hold on. 1 second, guys. I'm almost ready. Okay. All right. So we're gonna read the letter that she penned. Bruce and I were both covering the sentencing hearing where we just went over Sarah's statement, which was bizarre. I don't know how much you remember of that, Bruce, but it was very weird.
I've watched multiple people review it.
Okay.
Lawyer Lee, Omar. So yeah, that was a wild ride. Emily Baker. We watched it. Now, what's the context for this mail? Did she send it to someone, this is post-sentencing, right?
Yeah, she just sends a bunch of wild shit to the judge, apparently. Like, there were a lot of letters going on during her case, but this one came after the sentencing. So, the sentencing happened, and then on Friday, she wrote this letter, and then it just became public record, I guess.
Oh, boy.
All right.
So this is to the judge.
To the judge, yes. Mr. Michael Kranick is actually Honorable Judge Michael Kranick.
Oh, geez. She doesn't even... Oh, no.
Yeah. All right. Let's so this is all in her handwriting, as you guys can see. So we're gonna have to decipher some of this, but I'm gonna do the best that I can, and then hopefully everybody can read it. I think, Bruce, can you see the letters big enough? Like, is it?
I think so.
It might not be readable.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I feel like an English teacher. I need to.
Yeah.
Read my students' penmanship here.
I haven't seen writing like this in a hot minute.
Right? Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Hold on 1 sec. All right. Let's get to it, guys. I am trying to juggle my phone and my computer at the same time. Mr. Michael Kranick, I like how she doesn't refer him to Judge Michael Kranick. I am in closing, please, my complete statement to you and the world, as I partially read during my sentencing hearing, and we all know how terrible that was. So this is like the full letter. Her lawyer came out and said that he made her take parts out. So I guess she just wanted to make sure everybody heard the whole fucking thing. All right. By my reserving particular parts of my very true and meaningful statement, I was hoping to have been graced with your forgiveness, understanding, and consideration in any level or degree. For me, unfortunately, and regardless of whom I had speak on my behalf, or the number of your ignorant or the number of your ignorant mind was already made up. She wrote a letter to the judge just to be like,
oh no. She's throwing him under the bus and insulting him in the first paragraph.
This is amazing.
Oh, dear.
All right. By your clear error and full-blown unfair bias against me since your involvement in my Crucible case as a whole, I think that says Crucible. Guys, again, bear with me. Her handwriting is maybe a little hard to read at times. I have
Crucible?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like the Salem witch trials?
Maybe, yes. That makes sense. Okay, it makes sense now.
A play.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I remember that. Oh, yeah.
English class is coming in clutch for me, kids.
That's it. Revoke the life sentence. She's good. All right. I have been unsuccessful in receiving anything from you as a supposed fair and neutral judge, except for your wish that I spend the rest of my life in prison. That's how a life sentence works, bro.
Wait, I don't understand the sentence structure here. Is she saying she didn't get anything fair and neutral except for his wish that he spend the rest? Is she saying his life in prison sentence was fair and neutral? Or is she saying like,
she's
this
saying
is
that
what I
he's
got
biased, yeah.
instead? Because the sentence
Right.
structure is confusing. To
She's
me, it
saying
makes it
that-
sound like she thinks the life sentence is fair and neutral, but nothing else was, which is
No,
just weird.
She's
I don't
saying
think that's what she meant.
no, she's saying that he's supposed to be fair and neutral, but he wasn't. So now she's spending her life in prison. That's what she's getting at here. All right. Please know, and again, remember, guys, this is 28 pages of handwriting. Like, this is ridiculous.
It is?
And this is not her longest one. She apparently wrote a 50-plus page one a while back. So, all right.
Wait, 28 pages?
Yeah, 28 pages, and that was page 1. All right, and we're not done yet with page 1. Please know and always remember, Mr. Kranick, and she still won't call him Judge Kranick.
Oh boy.
I forgive you. Like, she forgives her murder victim that she murdered brutally for no apparent reason.
This is so like main character, like,
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
forgiving you. Don't you think that's the greatest? Like, no, I don't.
Dude, she's the worst.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Michelle S. I was watching your last video and absolutely broke my heart. You're a good person. I want you to feel supported and loved. Keep up the good work. Hugs. Thank you. I do. Thank you, all of you. I do feel supported. So thank you very much. It helps a lot. But right now, I just want to talk about this psycho. So, all right.
Correct.
Please understand also the judge, according to Cicero, is never to lose sight that he is simply a man and that he cannot exceed the power given to him by his commission. That not only power, yep.
By Cicero. Was she quoting Shakespeare now? What is happening?
I don't know, man. That not only power, but public confidence has been given to him, that he ought always very seriously to attend not to his wishes, but to the requisitions of law, of justice, and religion.
Oh boy. Cicero was a Roman politician, by the way.
What does it say? Sic pro Cluentus? Is that what
Sic
this is?
pro.
Sic pro, okay.
Cluentus? I don't know what that means. Let's Google. I'll Google. Sic. What is it? Pro?
Jim, did I not read your super chat? Will you tell me where it is? I'll read it. Sorry. Okay. Sic pro Cluentus.
Oh. Procluentio. Is it procluentio, you think?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. It could be. This handwriting is just...
Yeah, procluentio is a speech given by Cicero in defense of a man. In defense of someone. Oh my gosh, there's a whole Wikipedia page. I can't read this. This is homework. Homework, kids. We got to go do some Cicero research.
Jim says last stream. I'm sorry, Jim. I meant to read it. Obviously, I was pretty shaken up. I will say that Jim is my spirit animal, so I probably endorse whatever he said, but I'm not positive because he says some wild shit sometimes. So maybe, probably, but thank you, Jim, regardless. Okay.
Also, it blows my mind that just a layman or a defendant in a court case, a member of the public, is lecturing a judge on how to be a judge. That's like the height of hubris. Right?
Well, she's qualified. She only murdered someone with a suitcase.
I mean, good golly.
Okay. I am excited in my appeal, which speaks for itself. My case law as well, in which I am extremely proud to have achieved and will continue doing to now. So now, okay, that I am no longer in your corrupt court. And
gosh. You know, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you go to court and you don't settle, someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. It's like a football game. Someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. If you lose, this is like blaming the refs. Ooh, the refs. Yeah. Come on.
Well, the ref really, really got it right this time. But all right. Okay. Let me start that over. All right. My case law as well, in which I am extremely proud to have achieved and will continue doing so now that I am no longer in your corrupt court and free from your malevolent judicial grips.
Malevolent judicial gripped. She
Sarah,
certainly does have a way with words. Oh my.
I mean, that's a way. I don't know if
If you
it's the
scroll
right
back
way,
up
but
though,
yeah.
it's very interesting if you scroll back up. She says, "I am excited in my appeal."
Yeah, yeah,
Most people would say I'm excited for my appeal or I'm
yeah.
excited about my appeal. I don't know. I'm
Don't
excited in my
question her,
appeal.
Bruce.
This
Don't
is just
question her.
weird.
You're just biased.
I have a
I
malevolent moose grip on her letter here.
Somebody does.
Oh
All
boy.
right. She's getting into that prison hooch. Sarah Boone versus State of Florida. I don't know why she wrote that. I also have added to my statement as a result of your blindness and impartiality, foremost your disgust in me as being an outspoken woman. That's not the problem, ma'am. A determined defendant and proactive client, hoping the next time you put on your listening ears and do not unfairly oppress the next as you have so blatantly done me.
Okay.
What?
Okay, here's a question, guys. What is this lady's career? Like what did she do before she became a full-time litigant in this court case? What was her job? Like what is her background?
She doesn't. She was unemployed, dude. Like, uh,
Like did she have a degree in something? Did she have a particular career path in mind? Like
I actually don't know. Maybe someone in the chat can tell us about the degree. But
Miku
as far as
says
the career path,
unemployed.
yeah, yeah,
Um
unemployed. Yeah. Hey
Introverted
Lauren.
Giraffe says she was a secretary for a few weeks. Unemployed
Uh,
alcoholic. Oh my. I mean,
hey, hey Lauren, how are you feeling? Awestruck. I'm feeling awestruck right now. Thank you though.
she mostly
Uh,
just drank a lot. Sounds like fake
yep,
retirement.
sure does. I don't know. I don't know anyone in fake retirement who wrote a letter like this to a judge, but all right.
Yeah. I don't think I would be able to do this. This is crazy.
This
Put
is
it
the
on,
most narcissistic gaslighting letter I've ever
put
read.
it on your
And
listening ears.
listen, I have read, as most of you know who are watching the stream right now, I work as a psych evaluator in the ER. So I see some pretty weird shit. I have read some weird letters, seen some weird drawings by patients and stuff like that. None of them were as shocking to me as this. So like this is bizarre. All right. You will never admit your many judicial errors, nor will the prosecutors theirs, and
Oh
I
my
will never
goodness.
admit to what you have wrongfully accused me of and judged me as. Huh? I am not a murderer.
She's saying she's not going to confess. But I mean, here's the thing: if she's talking about judicial errors, prosecutor errors. I mean, if there were errors, they need to be documented. I don't know what she thinks they were, or who agrees with her that there were errors.
Cat Lady says she sometimes worked at Disney World. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
This letter strikes me as very condescending.
The whole thing is just bizarre. I mean, it's just
Do you
bad.
pick that up or what? I don't know. Or do you think it's more like? Do you think there's things in here indicative of just somebody who's egotistical and condescending, or do you think it goes
The
beyond
whole
that to
thing.
some sort of mental illness?
No, yeah, absolutely. Narcissistic, she's narcissistic. I believe she has, some sort of personality disorder, whether narcissistic or antisocial. I'm not sure.
Mhm.
That's my take on it. But the
Mhm.
narcissism is like unbearable. Like you cannot deny the narcissism with this woman. But like
Yeah.
that's
I
so
mean,
crazy. There's
that's
some
what all
other
the
stuff.
commentators were saying during the
Yeah.
sentencing speech.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I have seen a lot of personality disorder. I've seen a lot of things. I go back and forth with this one because I'm just like, and like I told you guys before, I didn't watch the whole trial. Some of it because I was just busy working between the hospital job, the job I have working at home, and the job I have working for my family's practice. So like I couldn't watch all of it, but some of it I just didn't watch because it was too hard to watch. So like I was like, oh my god. This is like, oh my god, it's like she's like oozing narcissism. It's insane. I've never seen I've seen some open wounds, man, but I've never seen anything ooze as much as this woman oozes narcissism. So,
Yeah, I mean, her closing statement or whatever, the sentencing hearing statement, I mean, it kind of reminded me of going back, like I had to think back to like the 70s or 80s or something, like serial killers, like Ted Bundy or something.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hmm.
to find a comparable sort of scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe not for what happened, but in terms of the defendant's mindset.
LB, thank you for the 10. Love your content, Lauren and Bruce. Keep up the good work. Forever a follower. Thank you very much. We appreciate you. I mean, I can only speak for myself. Maybe Bruce does too, though.
Wait, what?
Quiet. They said, love your content, Lauren and Bruce. I said, I appreciate you. I'm not sure about Bruce, though. And then you were just quiet.
I'm eating a cookie, but I appreciate
Okay, Bruce is eating a cookie.
all the things and people and moose and
Ziani says,
cats.
I would love for you to do a stream on the Insurance Killers Manifesto. I'm thinking about it. I haven't had time yesterday. I really need to take the day off. So maybe.
Oh, this is the New York guy
Yeah, they're talking about
from
Luigi.
McDonald's.
Luigi, yeah.
He had a manifest. They released this manifesto. Oh boy.
I don't. The thing is, like, I wasn't sure they confirmed that he like was really the person yet, but then they said his fingerprints were found at the crime scene. So
I also heard there were maybe some fake manifestos floating around or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to make sure I get the right one, but I'll definitely do that. I just don't know when. And then somebody said it was hard to watch, but I wanted to your take on the suitcase video. I watched the suitcase video like shortly after this happened when it first came out, and it's been a long time since I watched it. I did not want to watch it again. I remember my first thought was like this man is like helpless and like he just needs to get out, and he's trying so hard to like survive.
The suitcase, yeah.
And she seems like cold-hearted and like she just doesn't care and wants him to die. That was my impression. So that was my impression. My impression was this is not a loving relationship at all. This man is just like trying so hard to survive, and she is trying so hard to wield her power over him.
Not
That's
a good
what I got
situation.
Yep.
Chad is informing us that the New York guy did not have a manifesto. It was simply a one-page. Maybe it's just a letter.
Okay, gotcha.
So maybe manifesto is the wrong word. We stand corrected.
Yeah. I mean, I will still, talk about that, but I want to talk about, I don't know if you guys saw my video on the bathtub murder here in Florida. This happened in Seminole County, a couple of hours from me. This woman recently, she drowned her daughter, but before that, she took her daughter, her like disabled diabetic daughter, off of her insulin, and then she left her off of it for days while the daughter suffered with symptoms of diabetic ketoacidosis. And then she tried to drown her daughter to death. Obviously, the roommate who helps care for the children comes in and tries to stop her from drowning the kid, and she attacks the roommate with a hammer and says she's going to kill her. So, like, not only did she try to kill her daughter, she openly like stopped someone from saving her daughter. So it was crazy. So I'm going to talk about that probably tomorrow, and then we'll do on Friday maybe the UHC killer thing, and then Saturday I'll talk about David and his latest videos, and that'll be my last video addressing David's stuff because I'm done with that. Anyways, let's get going with this letter. So, all right. I am not a murderer. You are a convicted murderer, in fact, ma'am. I am a survivor. Easy to do when you're not in a suitcase. All right. Black robe disease, arrogance in a judge, a slang term for a judge who flaunts judicial power and dominates proceedings at the expense of the dispensation of justice.
Oh dear.
Impartiality is the first duty of a judge. Before he gives an opinion or sits in a judgment in a cause, he ought to be certain and absolute that he has no bias for or against either of the parties. If he has any interest, even the most slightest, in the cause, he is disqualified from sitting as a judge, and when aware of such interest, ought to lawfully and justly refuse to sit on a case. The delicacy which characterizes the judges in this country generally forbids their sitting in such a cause. The judge must not only be impartial, but must also follow and properly enforce the law, not abuse. He is bound to declare what law is and not make it be, not an arbitrator.
I think she's saying, and not make it semicolon. Be not an arbitrator, but an interpreter of the law.
Thank you. I could not understand that little.
She's getting really poetic with the semicolons.
And not make it be. Not make it. Be not an arbitrator, but an interpreter of the law, It is their duty to be patient in the investigation of the case, understand circumstances and difficulties by all parties, careful in considering parts of a case in whole and decent in judgment. And then it says, is it Bovey Law Dictionary? I can't tell. Something Law Dictionary.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Well, wait, can you scroll back up?
Yeah.
What was the...
That.
Yeah, Bouvier. Or Bouvier.
Yeah,
What
it's
is her
Bouvier.
argument that the judge is biased and should not be sitting on this case?
Well, he convicted her of murder, and
I mean, is that it? Like,
he gave her a life sentence, so obviously he's biased.
She doesn't even have, like, the judge's dad came to a hearing one day. Like, she doesn't even have that.
No,
Come
she
on.
does
Like,
not.
what is her? Maybe she gets into it because this is 9,000 pages long, but I don't know.
Oh, Jim, I just got your message. I'm gonna respond to you after the stream. Okay, I just got your message. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Back to the shit show. But at the risk of practicing judicial centricism, is that what it says? Centricism?
Judicial centricism.
Yeah, a word I have coined in this presentation. I don't think she coined that. But okay.
Presentation. This isn't PowerPoint. She's probably angry she doesn't have PowerPoint access, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, she definitely didn't coin any part of this, but okay. Others have called it black robe disease. Whether he was correct or not in my behavior, it is widely accepted that judicial behavior affects the jury. Murray Richel, the Simpson trial. Okay, is that OJ?
I would think so.
Okay. Well, the thing is, Sarah, as far as this one goes, where she says, you know,
I mean, 96 was after the trial, but trial was in 95.
Okay.
But yeah,
whether he was correct or not in my behavior is an important part there, because the jury clearly saw that you murdered a man in cold blood when you put him in a suitcase, zipped him up, and refused to let him out. And you were just like being condescending and terrible in a video that you took. So, you know, that's not really judicial bias there. It's the defendant's stupidity.
Yeah. I mean, I think they had, you know, they could have, I don't know. She needs to explain why she thinks there's this bias or what the judge did to negatively influence the jury. For example, in the Murdaugh trial, there was a big hullabaloo because the clerk of court or the person that would shepherd the jury around was talking to them about the case, which they're not supposed to do. So she needs to have some sort of story like that to explain here. But so far, I haven't seen it.
But she's the best, Bruce, so she doesn't have to explain.
Well...
K-Dubs, thank you for the 10. How many tiny jail pencils did she go through?
Oh, boy.
Oh my god. Do they... I don't know about jail. I only know about psych units. On psych units, you can have like pencils. You can have well, not pencils even. You can have like little colored markers. You can have like maybe some tiny pencils, but for the most part, they won't give you like pens. They will give you like those erasable colored pencils and stuff like that, like where they're like really dull, because they don't want you to stab yourself in the eye. So, like, I don't know if they actually only give you the little pencils in jail, because not everybody's obviously trying to, you know, off themselves, but like, I wouldn't be surprised. All right. That's really funny though.
This is like Wentworth. I got to defend myself from B. Smith or something here with my disposable pencil. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you know, she would use that pencil.
I know, right?
K-Dubs, I guess no one else here has been to jail. If you've actually been to jail, please tell me stories. I would love to hear about that. I don't know about you guys, but like I'm fascinated by like stories from people who have been in prison, people who have been in jail. I like to learn about the different experiences, different behaviors, different norms and kind of customs of different regions and like different prisons, different jails. But like I used to like listen to hours and hours of YouTube where people describe their experiences in jail and stuff. It's actually really fascinating. It's really fascinating. All right. Okay. We got through that. Trial judges are affirmatively charged with securing a fair trial and must intervene sua sponte to that end when necessary. Brown v. Walter, that duty encompasses not only the avoidance of error before it occurs, but the fair correction of error that may have occurred earlier in a proceeding. I was like, a pro what? No, a proceeding. And then she's citing
Yeah.
another thing
This
there.
is just infuriating because she's talking about errors, but she doesn't say what they are.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. I think Dave Neal said this. What you want to do, whether you're making a letter like this or doing a YouTube video, you want to show, don't tell. So don't tell people that someone was wrong. Show them how they were wrong. Present the evidence. But maybe she's saving that for her appeal. But if she's doing that, I don't know why she's writing this letter. It just seems very strange.
Well, she loves to get in her own way. So.
Oh, it seems like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
sure does. All right. In the instant case, I think it says instant. In the instant case, the trial judge did not analyze the evidence. He added to it, dealing with a mere manifestation of the accused and giving his testimony. Is that a mere mannerism? Is it mannerism? I can't tell her writing sometimes. With a mere mannerism of the accused and giving his testimony, the judge put his own experience with all the weight that
could be attached to it.
Okay, yeah. You speak crazy better than I do in cursive, dude. And that's saying something. In the
Gen X
scale,
represent. Writing cursive with my left hand while the nuns beat it out of me.
Oh God, dude. In the scale against the accused, and then she cites another case here. Kintsukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style. Yeah.
Wait, can you scroll back up?
Yeah, go ahead.
So what is this? So this is another quote. She's just doing quote after quote. This is the problem. Like, you can't litigate or you can't debate by just quoting other people. You have to state your own case.
But you can if you're nuts.
This is why it was unbelievable when Gingras showed up and his first motion, the motion to extend the time, that was very long, had all this stuff about some Trump case and this and that and all. It's like, dude, you just need to stick to the facts. You don't need to quote all this other stuff. You don't need to make all these weird, allegories and metaphors and whatnot. I don't know. That's my thought.
This whole thing is just nutty. Everything she does is nutty. All right, Kintsukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style, and I don't know if I pronounced that right, guys, which means to repair with gold. And we heard this in her sentencing here.
Yeah.
In this tradition,
just gonna repeat it.
Well, a lot of this is her statement. She basically wanted to make sure everybody saw. She wanted to make sure everybody saw the unedited version of the statement she presented. Yeah,
this is like the director's cut.
Yeah, so like her lawyer made her take some of this out, and so she wanted to make sure everybody saw everything that she wrote, and so now here we are. All right, Kintsukuroi is a kind of Japanese ceramic style, which means to repair with gold. In this tradition, when a ceramic piece breaks, an artisan will fuse the pieces back together again using liquid gold or gold dust lacquer. Lacquer, okay. So rather than being covered up, the breaks become more obvious and a brilliant new piece of art emerges from the brokenness. And to be clear, everyone, she's talking about herself. Okay?
She is the ship of Theseus.
I thought I saw all the crazy when I started working in psych, but here we are. All right.
Again, it's another metaphor.
It embraces flaws, weakness, and imperfection, and also teaches the essence of resilience. Every crack in a ceramic piece is part of its history, and each piece becomes more beautiful because it has been broken. Okay, but how many of those pieces zipped a dude into a suitcase? Like, all right. That is the wisdom of Kintsukuroi. In my wisdom, oh God, here we are. Okay, here we go. And with all of my repair then, now and what is that word? And ongoing?
Wait,
now and
where
ongoing.
Are we?
Here where it says, I don't know if you can see my cursor. In my wisdom and with all of my repairs then, now and ongoing, I think it says, God has been, and will always be my artisan. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure God didn't ask you to zip up a dude in a suitcase, but okay. Yeah. All of my gold is forgiveness. What? What? This has held me together, made me shine brighter. Oh, you're so special, girl. And overcome the damage caused by Jorge Torres, the Torres family, the justice system, Judge Wooten and Kranick, Orange County Corrections Department, social media, scoundrel detectives, infamy, defamation, ongoing constitutional rights violations, second-degree murder, forced into being pros. So, like, the thing is, when I say she's a narcissist...
Pro se.
Oh, pro se.
Not writing.
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe someone forced her to write this.
Forced her to be poetry.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, well, and also forced into being pro se. Come on. I mean, I think she put herself in that position. But anyway, why does she think the detectives were scoundrels? What did she say they did wrong?
I mean, I didn't hear everything she said about that. I just know that that's obviously not what happened.
Maybe somebody in the chat knows why she's so hard on the detectives here.
Yeah. So when I read this, and it takes me to a place where I feel like I have often landed with cases like this, where I'm like, is this person actually fucking delusional? Is she actually psychotic? Or is she, grandiose? Is she narcissistic? In my opinion, as far as I know about this person, she is narcissistic. Therefore, she is grandiose. She sees no fault in her actions. She will always, put other people down, the people who disparage her or whatever, people who try to criticize, people who give constructive criticism, even she will put them down. Like, it doesn't mean that those people did anything wrong, but she can't see it that way. She is incapable of seeing that way. I do not believe she's psychotic. I do not believe she's delusional. I believe that she's a narcissist. So that's just my thoughts on this. Justice Gold is very precious. Forgiveness is invaluable. What does sleep have to do with this? Sleep because I had to go to work or my son's field trip the next day. Are the pages out of order? Hang on.
It says 3. Oh, we're missing page 2.
Are we? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to. But this is like this
maybe
stuff.
They took page 2 out.
This stuff right here is like stuff she read in her sentencing hearing.
Oh, there's page 2. 2 and 3 are out of order.
All right, so let's do this.
Somebody needs to go back to Adobe Acrobat. Get Laura Owens to reorder these pages for us.
Justice Gold is very precious. Forgiveness is invaluable. Forgiveness is not an attempt to change or forget who, what, or how you've lived through to be so gold, but an act of grace, humility, and considerable self-composition to be set free from sorrow. Withholding forgiveness denies your brilliance and adds even greater grief and deeper heartache. Irreparable cracks on top of the art already that no one deserves, no matter the pain or disappointment, untruths or injustice. It doesn't matter, as the more broken you are, even though you
different
than before, you become more outstanding and more extraordinary. She's still trying to prop herself up, man.
Exactly. You know what I noticed about this analogy? She's talking about how, like, the gold that's repairing all the cracks from all the terrible things she's been through, and she uses it to forgive other people as if she's way up here and she's deigning to forgive all these people. And then she says, like, the gold is there that lets me forgive people because of God. But my understanding in religion is that what you're really supposed to be doing when you're talking about, God or Jesus, is understanding your own failings and acknowledging your own sins and your own things like this and admitting them. Like, this is why, like, they go to confession, right, in the Catholic practice. And she's taken it and turned all of that around. And I'm not a religious person, but I understand what she's doing here and how it could be offensive to religious people.
Stephanie, when I was attempted to be robbed as a teller, I refused to read the letter from the guy in jail. I advised the judge just to throw this away. So I guess this is a common thing. I don't know. And then somebody here was trying to answer your question. Okay, she feels like the detectives duped her by telling her to come pick up her phone, then interrogating her.
Yeah, because probably they, like, talked to her at her place, asked her for her phone or whatever, and if she gave it to them, and then they're like, oh yeah, come pick it up, and then they're like, let's chat. And they're like, okay, what do you think about this? Okay, we're arresting
Yeah.
you. Like, that's just how police work. Like, that's police being normal police.
Right.
I don't know.
Jim Schuler, Sarah Boone forgives Jesus. Well, how nice of her to do that. K-Dubs, thank you for the 20. This is a lot of tiny pencils. They are like the pencils they give you at mini golf /
Oh, the mini golf pencils, yeah.
I think Sarah is a little above par at this point. But yeah.
Oh dear.
Thank you, K-Dubs. I appreciate you. Everything that you've done tonight. So all right. Let's see. All right. Did we get to this part yet? As a matter, the more broken you are.
I think we're at the above all.
Above all, okay. Above all, when you let go of blame, misunderstandings, excuses, give up your anger and cease from resentment, this is forgiveness. And when you forgive, you heal. And when you heal, you move forward. Okay, so you're saying you haven't forgiven anyone because you're not letting go of blame. You're not misunderstanding anything. You're not giving up your anger, and you're certainly not ceasing from resentment. Like, what the fuck?
She's forgiving everybody, but she's reminding them of all the bad things they did at the same time.
Most of that being
By the
false,
way.
By the way, yeah.
In case you forgot, Judge,
All
how
right.
biased you were.
My
There's
gold.
no explanation of that bias here that I can see.
This was like the worst part of the. Oh my god, I remember now. My gold begins with Jorge Torres, and every time he slapped me, kicked me, punched me, spit on, raped, stabbed, choked, laughed at, pushed, pulled, dragged, whipped, tripped, stole from, lied, terrorized, threatened, humiliated, forced, degraded, and made me cry. Every time he tried to end me, I defeat or destroy. I forgive George for beating me senseless, for trying to sleep because I had to go to work, or my son's field trip the next day. Again, this woman was largely unemployed. And for someone who claims she was constantly beat and all this shit, she's remarkably well put together physically. I see no scars or bruises. I see no proof that he ever did that, really. And everything that I have seen, to my knowledge and thus far, admitting that I have not seen the whole trial, everything I have seen points to him defending himself. So I don't really see anything to support what she's saying. All right. For ruining my deceased family's heirlooms, traditions, and keepsakes, my son's furniture, destroying the television we watched together, for wrecking our town home, okay, by breaking windows, punching holes in the walls and doors. Okay. Ramming, okay, his entire body into glass doors, kicking in my front and back door over and over and over. Again, seeing a large lack of evidence here, but that's just me. For breaking or removing the locks from all the doors, and sometimes the knobs altogether, so I had nowhere to feel safe, including the sacred space of my son's room, where he beat me bloody on his bed. Again, where's the proof? All right. For terrorizing and threatening my blind and deaf dogs. Oh god, where have we seen this before, dude? All right.
Oh boy.
Yeah. By leaving the gate open, I built to keep them safe, telling me he hoped I'd find their bloated dead body in the pond. What? Or scrap their remains off the pavement. For kicking them off the bed and throwing across the room because they were trying to protect me. Okay.
This is so complicated because you know, the problem I face internally is like, you want to believe people who are doing something in self-defense, like they have no other alternative, and they're at the point where they have to enact some sort of self-defense. And you want to be able to identify that scenario and help those people or sympathize with those people or whatever it is. But in this case, I just, the way that she's gone about this entire case, the evidence that was presented, it's just not conducive to that. You don't get a sense that there's self-defense here. It's just like, again, it's like show, don't tell.
Yep. Well, she couldn't show it, so she's going to write about it in cursive. All right. Stephanie, too bad she couldn't just copy and paste from the sentencing letter, so you had to rewrite this. So the thing is, like, yeah, exactly what you said, but like she needed us to hear the whole thing, so she wrote it all out, handwritten again. I guess she kept an original copy or something and was just like copywriting it, like, gotta make sure I get this part. That'll get him, you know? All right. Karen Carson, thank you for the 5 for broccoli. I miss your other live, but happy to catch you now. Oh, and hi, Bruce. Thank you. I told Karen broccoli is like the best vegetable. I don't know if you guys agree, but I think it is. Yeah. It is. It is. It totally is. All right.
As a Midwest lad, I have to go with peas and carrots.
I mean, I don't hate peas or carrots. I like peas and carrots. I just like broccoli
mixed
more.
together, you know.
Yeah, broccoli's just better to me. I don't know. You put some lemon pepper, lemon juice, and a little bit of garlic salt on the broccoli. It's like chef's kiss. All right. For threatening to make me unrecognizable to my son by breaking all the bones in my face. Again, where's your proof? Like his
all
brother.
The bones?
Yeah, she says so.
Like all of them?
Yeah. Like his brother.
I mean, you would think that would be verifiable with medical records.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently
all
not.
of them?
We're just supposed to use our imaginations, I guess. Like his brother Moises did to him after he kept seeing all the bruises. From George beating me like all the times their father beat their mother. Shut up. For all the drunken rages. Are you talking about yourself now? And fist fights with so many neighbors when wandering into their apartment during hunting expeditions after I escaped. Again, where's the evidence of this? For drowning me in liquor, you did that yourself, ma'am. And I know because I've done that too. And urine because I didn't want to drink. Oh, my bad.
Liquor and wine.
Honestly, probably both, though. From drowning me in liquor. And this is what you get when you write a letter in cursive. I'm going to have to use my own eyeballs to interpret. All right. Yeah. From drowning me in liquor and wine because I didn't want to drink, causing me to urinate. There we go. Causing me to urinate on myself. Again.
Oh, we finally got to the urine. Okay.
Again, that's your fault, ma'am. Then butting the end of the bottle in my face, giving me 2 black eyes and a bloody nose. Haven't seen any proof of that. For making me experience what it is to be sodomized. Haven't seen any proof of that. Threatening to kill my friends and the neighbors when they checked on me to make sure I was alive and in one piece. Again, haven't heard anything about that. Didn't hear from any friends or anything like that in the sentencing hearing, I don't think. For threatening to burn down our townhouse and set my car on fire because I got a job. Doubt that happened, but okay. For holding me hostage on weekends, my son was supposed to come over by keeping my keys around his neck, my phone in his crotch, and
butcher knife.
Okay, and
stuck
a butcher.
In the middle of the table.
I was like, beat chair, what?
Yeah,
and a butcher knife stuck in the middle of the table as a warning not to ask anything or try to leave.
Oh boy! And you know the thing is, let's say he had done all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Does it still mean that on a particular night that she was justified in locking him in a suitcase so that he would die as some sort of self-defense?
Right.
I mean, I don't know. She's so good at writing these long things here. What was stopping her from writing these long things previously and pressing charges or getting out of this bad situation? I understand there's a lot of codependency sometimes in these domestic violence situations, and it's hard to leave.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the line is.
Probably before what she's describing here for sure, but like I don't think any of this happened.
Yeah, I mean, Tear Dad in chat is telling us that some of these things appear to be copied from a book about domestic violence, which kind of reminds me.
Attention in the early days. Yeah.
You know, this sort of reminds me of the way in the Owens v. Eckerd case, in the Medium articles or the blogs, like the way she would talk about pregnancy or the way she would talk about autism or something like that. It sounds like it's taken from a book or some other source material.
Yeah. And that's been my impression here as far as we're reading. Like I said, I don't think there's any evidence of any of this happening. I think she's very narcissistic and she'll, tell from her perspective, which is, not necessarily true. I think it's distorted from reality because she has such a self-indulgent opinion of herself that she cannot see it any other way. And to your dad, I promise we're not trying to ignore you. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to read all this cursive and it's hard. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm trying
Yeah.
to keep an eye on chat here a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. Well, one of us has to, and then I'll try to read the cursive. But sometimes you have to correct me because I get to
Yeah.
a word and I'm just like, what is she writing here? Okay. All right. For stabbing me in the leg and not letting me call 911 for an ambulance or seek help, where I nearly bled to death until I concocted a lie to save him from being arrested. If you nearly bled to death, this would have been a whole thing. Like he would have been arrested for stabbing you and nearly killing you. Like that,
Yeah.
no, that's not a thing. Like this is not a thing that would have happened the way she's
Yeah.
describing
I
it.
mean, if you were in the ER and the doctors were like, this person almost died because they were stabbed so much, that would result in criminal charges, right? I don't know.
Absolutely. For destroying my phone with a hammer because my son called. For me experiencing ever being arrested. And after today, prison. That's not his fault, you dumb bitch. There's a man in a suitcase trying to get out, and she's like beating his hand to get back in so she can kill him. And she's like, it's his fault I was arrested and now I'm in prison. No, fuck you. Jesus Christ. Fuck you. For beating me almost blind, crushing my occipital lobe, for having me experience what it means to see stars, like in the cartoons where a character has a tall lump on their head. I had too many times.
I had
Again,
that too.
I had that too many times.
Also,
well, like, where's the proof of that?
When I was watching that, it was the other Lauren's video, the Court TV, with the Jack Fox looking at the Laura Owens letters.
Yeah, I know you're talking. It's
and he was
shit.
yeah,
Pop. It's
Jack
like Pop
Fox.
Crime.
Yeah,
Pop Crime TV or something.
Pop Crime TV.
Yeah. Not sure.
And he was talking about how when you are maybe not telling the truth, you're going to be telling the story in a different way compared to these mundane things we do. Like if I go to the store, I can tell you about going to the store. The meat department wasn't open. Whatever, it was raining. Whereas if you're telling a more elaborate story or you're exaggerating a story, you're going to add all these sort of weird things that that normal people wouldn't say in conversation. And when I hear this thing about like cartoon characters having the big lump or whatever, like it just sounds disingenuous to me.
Yeah. Michelle, the love, I don't know if you noticed that, says,
oh yeah,
I think she's mostly salty towards the judge because he denied her snacks. Is that true? Like,
what does that mean? Like
maybe
in the courtroom?
Maybe, I don't know. Did anybody notice that? Like,
that was the amazing thing, because in the Murdaugh case, he was eating snacks the whole time in the courtroom, and I remember Emily Baker like, where are they that he can just sit there and eat like juicy fruits or whatever the things are? Weird. I don't know.
This is all very weird.
She wanted Pop-Tarts? She wanted Pop-Tarts in the courtroom?
Fruit
or do you
roll-ups,
just mean
maybe?
in like the
Gushers?
a motion for snacks? You mean like in jail?
Dude.
Oh, eat snacks? Oh, Pop-Tarts? Pop-Tarts are pretty big. You're going to get crumbs everywhere. Oh, boy. Junior mints, you can keep it clean, but Pop-Tarts, I don't know. Ooh, yeah, in court, says K-Dub. Okay. Good golly. That's too much. Yeah, snacks.
Let's keep going.
That's like when you're like Taylor Swift and you're like, before the concert, I want a bowl of M&Ms in the green room. Like it's like you can do that when you're Taylor Swift. You can't do that in court.
But she's Sarah Boone.
I know,
She's
right?
more important than Taylor Swift. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Let's see. Dragging me downstairs by my hair in the middle of the night just to sit next to him. Okay.
Oh.
For taking my car driving drunk. Does he say? Should she say taking or faking? I can't tell. For taking
Taking.
my car. For taking my car. You need to be like a handwriting expert or something. For taking my car driving drunk with my debit
Debit
card
card.
to buy more alcohol. You probably asked him to. While I slept, even after I kindly explained the importance of my car to take my son to school. Okay, I
Oh,
formally.
wait, if she's sleeping, so she's sleeping and she has to take her son to school at the same time? Like, this doesn't make any sense.
Oh no, bro.
Again, this is strange sentence structure, which I think
It's
again
just a
is like
strange letter.
if you were writing about something that really happened, you would be like, "Oh, a bunch of times he took my car while I was sleeping and I woke up and I didn't know where my car was." Or and then another time he took my car but I had to take my kid to school and the car wasn't there. You wouldn't write a sentence this way.
Oh my God, dude. All right. Okay. And to his batterers, intervention classes, and probation officer meetings, her sons?
No, to George's. Like she's
George's,
just throwing
okay.
him under the bus here. Like,
I hear
oh,
it.
you know,
Okay.
he had to do all this stuff because he's such a bad guy, and I was the one taking care of all of it. This is
Where I
what
would
she's saying.
be where I would be forced to sit for hours in the parking lot waiting for him. Number one, you would not be forced to sit in the parking lot for hours. He wouldn't know what you were doing if he was in a
Mhm.
batterers intervention class. You could immediately just tell the group instructor what he was doing. And like also like
You could go to
if
the tap house and have a chicken sandwich.
yeah, no, for real. She probably did though. She probably did, you know? All right.
That's what I would do.
I'll let you know if I ever have any meetings like that. All
Yeah.
right. For causing me so much trauma and pain, mentally, physically, emotionally, I had to be hospitalized more than once. For destroying my reputation and integrity, for my M for murderer, scarlet letter. I mean, dude, you murdered him. What do you expect? That's not exactly. You murdered the guy. What?
Mhm.
All right. Not letting me feel safe to live, talk to other people, spend time with my son, have a job, friendships. I mean, no one wants to be your friend. That's not George's fault. All right. Does that say simply go to the bathroom? Okay, I think so.
Mhm.
Simply go to the bathroom with the door closed or go to sleep soundly or comfortably. I forgive George for lying. You're an asshole, Sarah. For him
Soundly and
trying.
comfortably. There's a lot of watch for adverbs too, like words, adjectives that end in ly.
Yeah.
That's another sign that somebody is just trying to, you know, pad out their story.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Okay, where was I? Comfortably. I forgive George for lying, for him trying so many times to end me with his terrifying love. Okay, again, no evidence of that. I also forgive the Torres family. You're an asshole. I can't believe she said that still. His mother and father, foremost, also his 2 ex-wives and daughters, all for knowing who George was capable of and has done in the past, his history of violence and where he learned it. Then to keep turning a
Ugh.
blind eye when I would ask for help.
Yeah, you know, the thing that was interesting to me, I think it was Lawyerly or someone like that that was reviewing her speech, which most of this is from that speech.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, in these sentencing hearings, you're supposed to be addressing the judge and
She was
basically
in the beginning, yeah.
just talking to the judge and explaining like, um, you know, I'm very sorry for the things that happened. I
Yeah.
made mistakes. I'm repenting, you know. And that's really the idea here. And
Mhm.
she's taken it in this completely alternate direction, you
Yeah.
know, not just talking to the judge, but I mean, this whole thing is a letter to the judge, but she's basically saying, "Oh, I forgive the family." But
Mhm.
when she says that in court, they're right there. So she's
Yep.
effectively talking to them.
Luckily, they
So,
left. Somebody told me because I had asked before when we were covering the sentencing hearing.
oh,
I
I
was like,
wouldn't
"Does
be
anybody
surprised.
know if the family left?" And apparently, God, who was the guy who was
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Shit, one of the law tubers
Mhm,
said the family left shortly
mhm,
after she said like one of the first things she said. So I was like,
mhm,
"Thank God they left because they should never have to hear this."
mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Julia says she read this part in court.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely very familiar. Obviously, it's just some of this was not read in court. She wrote this letter to the judge and says, "I want everyone to hear the full letter that I wrote without any edits," because I guess her lawyer made her edit it. Right.
Apparently, pages 8 through 18 is the stuff we haven't seen yet.
Should we skip to? Let's skip to 8 then. Hang on 1 second. Let me run.
I don't know what page we're on, but.
Elizabeth, thank you for the 20. Your commentary is on point. Loving Bruce's oh boy comments as well. Always the oh boys. All right. Let's skip ahead to page 8. Then this is 7. We'll go ahead to 8. Okay. Social media has made me a pariah. Okay, well that's because you murdered a dude in cold blood. It has caused great oppression and undeniable disadvantages, especially by I almost said
broadcasting.
Sarah, you need to work on that handwriting, girl. All right. Especially by breadcasting.
I need some breadcasting in my life.
We all do, dude. And manipulating my cases online. And my criminal case, as a result, my opportunities to be given a fair, proper, and uninfluenced, successful conclusion was heavily depleted and poisoned. I forgive them. Okay. Also, call the media tycoons for not having a life of their own. Are you kidding?
The media tycoons.
Yeah, trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong.
The media tycoons? The media tycoons? Like, the media tycoons. Like Emily Baker's just over here twirling her curly mustache, like running YouTube or something, running Google. Sure. Give me a break.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. That was fucking crazy. All right. Trying so desperately to make themselves seem so right by making me appear so wrong. Forgiveness for prejudgments. Ridiculousness. She's ridiculous. Ridiculous theatrics. She spelled that wrong. Sorry. Lies, making, and taking blood money from my and others' misfortunes. Accidents and oh my God, I can speak. Accidents and catastrophes. It's all over their hands and keyboards.
That doesn't even make any sense.
My keyboard is clean.
Blood money would be like if a corporation was somehow responsible for an employee's death and they paid them a bunch of money to hush it up or something, or if there was a hired killer, that would be blood money. There's no blood money here.
Yes, there is, Bruce. We're talking about her, and she knows that she's right.
This is substantively wrong.
All right. Whew. Okay. And even after all that's been said and done, theorized, hypothesized, scrutinized, and she says blasphemed. Blasphemized, I think is what she meant
blasphemed.
to say. Is it blasphemed or is it
blasphemed? That is the word.
That's a real word. Okay.
That's a real word.
I stand corrected, Sarah. You got that word right, but you're still a fucking murderer. All right.
She clearly has a thesaurus.
And blasphemed in my case. Still, no one knows me. All right. My gold also runs deep for my prior attorneys. Oh God. Mauricio Padilla, probably, who sold me the world with empty promises, then abandoned his responsibilities as my attorney after taking 2.5 years of my life. I don't think that's exactly what happened. When finally realizing he was in over his head, well, that's because you lied to him about everything, probably. All while hoarding Jack dollars? What does that say, Bruce?
JAC.
What does that mean?
That's going to be some sort of judicial thing, or
okay. All while hoarding JAC dollars to fund his staycation.
Justice Administrative Commission, maybe? Okay. I don't know.
All while hoarding Justice Administration Committee dollars.
Well, maybe not. I could be wrong.
To fund
it could be, yeah, it could be some sort of court funding thing for the state. That's what it's called in Oregon. It might have a different name in Florida or the same name.
To fund his staycations with his family when in town from Miami. for having resources ready and unavailable, not allowing me, the client, to ever utilize which could have greatly progressed
Progress.
my case and perhaps concluded, only for him to decide water parks? What?
Water parks, fine dining,
Oh,
and
I see.
choice
Okay.
hotels were more important on the Jack's dime. I mean, look, you gotta when you're doing a job, you gotta have work-life balance. I mean, it's like these things, like, I used to work at a place where, we had the internal web page, and on April Fools, they would do a bunch of cool April Fool's Day articles that were funny about our work.
Mhm.
And there would always be like these one or two people that would be like, why are we wasting our time having people write these April Fool's articles? And it's like, look, you can't just be 100% a robot 24 hours a day. You gotta have some
No.
work-life balance. The other thing is, if she had a lawyer for 2.5 years, that's on her too for retaining that lawyer for 2.5 years. I don't know. My assessment seems to be that any lawyer that would work for her is effectively over their head. Like, there's no
Yeah.
lawyer on earth that is prepared to have her as a client.
IB0093. Oh my god, I don't think I can take any more of this letter. Well, to be fair, it'll be mostly me and Bruce talking, if that helps.
Maybe.
All right, guys.
It is pretty crazy.
Okay.
This is crazy.
Mm.
It's wild.
I forgive Frank J. Bankowitz. Is that how you say that? Bankowitz for continually
Committing perjury.
for committing perjury to the judge and on court help.
And on court record about my
record,
attempts to be a proactive defendant and client, inquiring about my discovery. So probably this lawyer complained to the judge. She's like, he's committing perjury. Oh no.
Then trying to communicate with no answers or correspondence in any manner for 1 full year and 2 months before I was able to finally meet with him in the courtroom, only to receive his motion to withdraw.
Oh boy.
Frank J. Beck. She says this every time, his full name. Oh my god. Frank J.
Yeah.
Beckowitz is forgiven.
Maybe she doesn't like him.
He is forgiven.
Oh wait, she's forgiving him?
He is forgiven.
I don't believe her, because you don't call someone, you don't be like, David S. Gingras Esquire, if you're like best buddies, so she's constantly like, Frank J. Bankowitz. Clearly she hasn't forgiven him. Come on.
That's awesome. Is forgiven for his greed and taking 15,000 from this JAC, who honorably aid indigent defendants as myself for taking advantage of and robbing the justice system by lying and avoiding clients, taking their money, and to the Jacks. I guarantee you, Frank J. Bankowitz probably earned every cent of that $15,000.
Oh, geez. Yeah, all these guys she's complaining about getting paid too much, they probably didn't get paid enough. That's probably true.
Oh my god, guys. All right. Winston E. Hobson receives my forgiveness, who also unethically perjured himself to the judge and on court record about all the progress.
Wait. The previous guy just perjured himself. This guy unethically perjured himself.
So what does that mean? What's the difference?
There's a difference. We don't know the difference, but she put an adverb here. Yeah. Oh boy. That's a sign.
That's awesome.
It's a sign.
To the judge and on court record about all the progress and attorney work he did in my case for the 2 months he was court appointed as, for his allegations of my supposed unethical requests, which meant me asking about my discovery and trying to have him file a motion for my lawful inclusion to my pretrial conferences cited under FRCP Discovery Rule 3.2. 2001. I wanted to be included in my case and no progress from being excluded by Bankowitz and Padilla over 3 years prior. Forgiveness also in telling me he would return in a week with my discovery, only to receive his motion to withdraw. In the meantime, still not receiving my discovery, and I filing my own motion. What does that say? Abling? I can't tell.
Weird. Allowing.
Okay, gotcha. Allowing me to go to all my hearings, including my pretrials. Continued forgiveness and disagreed, and selfish intentions also for robbing the Jack. And
keep in mind, this is a sentencing hearing statement. This is a litany of grievances.
I love the internet.
This is her like Festivus litany of airing of the grievances.
That's fantastic.
Like she's in Seinfeld.
Oh my god. This is amazing.
Oh.
Right. Robbing the Jack and indigent defendants of $15,000 more for nothing, justifying any work he really did do, and the handful of days he represented me as an attorney. Finally, and with all my gold received from this one, I forgive Patricia A. Cashman. Is it Cashman?
I think so.
For her mean, snotty, egotistical attitude and not listening or caring that I finally received my discovery.
God. Notice she underlined snotty.
Snotty.
She underlined it.
Maybe she had a cold that day, Patricia.
Oh, no.
I kept asking her for which the fully withheld from me, citing her ridiculous, untrue reasons was because I saw with my first attorney 4 years prior, and was she being my present?
What? This paragraph doesn't even make sense.
My present at that time attorney. I saw not one page of or any digital evidence of my discovery. She prohibited me from saying. My hand hurts.
Lauren, can you say, I would like to go to a rage?
I would like to go to a rage.
Wow. I feel like she's so unhinged with this paragraph that she's just not even writing coherently.
Yeah, I'm not really
she's
sure.
Like underlining everything. Like this is just like she must have really not liked this attorney.
I mean, maybe she got her cases mixed up. I do it all the time. Sarah.
And note, this is the lady attorney. She's like super angry at her.
Of course she is.
There's something going on with that.
She was fucking my man before I zipped him in a suitcase.
That's boy. Oh no.
All right. Boy. Patricia A. Cashman is also forgiven for admitting I had a right. I'm sorry. I'm just imagining writing something like this. She's forgiven for, and then just like calling her out on all her.
Yeah. This is just a litany of complaints.
For admitting I had a right to a bond I asked her for, so I could actually utilize one of my rights as opposed to having them always violated as prior and still ongoing. Then her
then her deterrence of all my opportunities to do so. Oh my gosh.
This is so ridiculous.
This is just word salad at this point.
For all her lies, condescension, gross unnecessary arguments, and anger while you're describing yourself. Holy shit. That I asked any questions and wanted to understand, for her doing nothing other than give me an even harder time and request transcripts, then brazenly lie for over $16,000 for doing so. Also, from the precious resources provided from the check, I forgive Patricia A. Cashman for being a liar and a
Wow. Yeah, she went way harder on this lawyer than the other lawyers. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
Look at all the underlining. She's underlined almost like half the paragraph. Oh no.
That was amazing. I mean, amazing in like the batshit craziest way possible. I'm just like, I can't believe that. Listen, guys, I've been working in psych now for closer to 10 years, and I've never seen anything like this. I'm just shocked. I'm just like, oh my god, there is weirder shit out there. Hallelujah. There's still something interesting for me to read.
I mean, I'm just a moose in Oregon, but this isn't giving forgiveness to me.
Oh, she's not done. Forgiveness for all those who did not include me to receive my my $15,000 share I worked for when Judge Kranick forced me to be my own attorney to represent myself as pro se. Does she think that she should actually be paid $15,000?
Yeah, because she had these court-appointed attorneys, and then after Cashman, the judge said, "You've had too many attorneys, so you just need to be pro se now." And she's like, "Well, I want to be paid because I'm the attorney."
That's amazing.
I don't know if that's how that works, though. I mean, those attorneys are like, registered with the bar, and they have to be public defenders as part of their ongoing career path, right? Like they don't have a choice, or it's part of their job or something. Being pro se is like not, she hasn't passed the bar. She doesn't have a job where she's like, okay, I'm going to be a public defender. This doesn't make any sense.
I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't know.
This is amazing.
I mean, I'm no lawyer.
This is amazing.
Sorry, I'm not a Arizona State registered attorney, David, but it seems odd to me.
Maybe he should do her appeal. All right. I actually and finally got my own discovery almost 5 years later. I'm coughing because of how much I'm laughing at this. Almost 5 years later, filed motions all prior should have done, making them the most expensive motions ever at over $46,000 between the three prior attorneys. Frank J. Burgos,
Is that all it was? That's like nothing.
No, Patricia A. Cashman.
Has she seen Clayton's bill? I mean, come on. This is fucking nothing, man.
Oh my god. Patricia A. Cashman. Would they have done so when supposedly representing me? The motions would have been priceless for the proper use of the JAG funds toward ethics, professionalism. Okay. Toward ethics, professionalism, honesty, and freedom. I honorably
freedom.
I honorably
for freedom, Lauren.
Shut up, man. All right, I honorably use my JAG resources and mentor. I'm sorry.
I don't even know what line we're on.
At the top one here.
Oh my god.
And mentorship. We only have 12 pages left. It's fine.
Oh, sure.
JAG resources and mentorship as a proactive indigent defendant, avidly defending myself against the liars, thieves, and real villains in my criminal case.
Oh, the real villains. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Thanos was her assigned attorney.
The real villains.
Who really is the criminal? Still you, bitch. The JAG can hopefully include their forgiveness for them also.
Wow. It's this late stage capitalism. Lauren, it's the 1%. The 1% made me put that guy in the suitcase and go to fuck to sleep. The late stage capitalism. Elon Musk made me do it. I mean, come on. Admit it.
It's amazing. Can you read that paragraph there? Judge
Which
Wooten,
one?
Judge Wooten and Kranick.
Judge Wooten and Kranick. I have great forgiveness for also in not protecting me, in listening to my valid requests for judicial intervention so I could properly and fairly defend myself against my charges. Instead, I had to defend myself against the attorneys and all appointed by the judge and the court against their lies and exaggerations. Reasons unjustifiable underlined why they were really creeping away from the battlefield and abandoning their professional duty as my attorney.
I'm sorry, I just took all that in, and it's like, oh my god, that's so bad.
I mean,
Woo.
she is writing this as if like a a Roman politician was writing this. I mean, this is how they would do it, right? They would go to the amphitheater in Rome or whatever around the fountain, and the politicians would read from the scrolls, and like all the people would gather around and listen. That's what she's doing here.
I'm gonna do my best to read this next part with a straight face. Hold on. I can do this, guys. I can do this. Judge Kreinik, I forgive you for not giving me any opportunity to stand at your pulpit?
Pulpit.
Pulpit. To stand at all, to explain the real, truthful side of the story. I believe if the justice system, including yourself, underlined, would and should have done any vital homework on the already almost see-through attorneys from being...
Oh, you know who else accuses people of not doing their homework? Mr. Gingras.
Oh,
I'm seeing some parallels here. This is interesting.
Those two should get together. All right, almost see-through attorneys from being spread so thin. Okay, I can do this. And simply sending an email to care about their present workload, number of clients, trial schedules already in place before throwing another inmate defendant unknowing client on the heaping unimportant pile of warm bodies.
Oh, geez.
Yeah,
the public defender has a bunch of work to do, but that's not really, that shouldn't come before her case. Her case is far more important than all the plebeians that need public defender help. Oh, wow. So she's throwing like all the other defendants under the bus here. That's very interesting.
K-Dubs, thank you for the 10 gifted. You've done so much for me tonight. Thank you so much. K-Dubs is an awesome supporter.
K-Dubs
Thank
rocks.
you very much. Yeah, dude. Totally. Way more than Sarah does. Okay. Anyways. Okay. Before throwing another inmate defendant unknowing client under the heaping unimportant pile of warm bodies, more taxpayer dollars could be conserved and less time consumed. Well, totally, if you hadn't murdered someone. All right. And wasted for everyone, regardless of what part they play in this supposed system of justice. My forgiveness is deepened, ma'am, for taking even greater time of mine away, years, by not caring to ask me anything about anything.
Ask me anything about anything. Wow. That's like really, that's a big state space.
Yeah. To not ask me anything about anything, understand, so you could justfully render your life-defining judgments and withhold anyone bias and prejudice. I wish I could have, had the wherewithal to say something like this to like middle school bullies. That would be hilarious. All right.
They would not stick around to listen. They'd just walk away.
Well, that's
just be like your mom and walk away.
That's the desired effect.
Yeah, I guess.
But it doesn't work in a court of law, dude. Foremost, Judge Kreinik, I forgive you for kicking me when I was down and choking the life out of my constitutional amendments.
At least he's a judge now. He got a promotion in this page.
Yeah, he was Mr. Kreinik before that.
Yeah, he finally got promoted.
Most profoundly, my sixth right to counsel as a result of my wholehearted case of my first right to free speech and being my own advocate since no one else would be. Why do you think that is? And received a paycheck for. And all of my free speech experience-driven letters, the letters were crazy, only for remedy in any collaboration inclusion, receiving my discovery as an inmate, defendant, and client, not removal of any attorneys to cause
more delays.
More delays or any reason or any reason or excuse. My bad, not excellence. She wouldn't say that. You may try to force on me, and have already inappropriately accused me of doing prior with your heavily insinuated strategies of mine. to try and deflect the glaring red flags, disappointments, and true crime in and out of the justice system.
True crime.
Somebody wants a podcast. Karen Carson, thank you for the 5. Her handwriting is very immature to puffy like her brain. How
Ooh,
old is Sarah
puffy.
Boone? Because like when I was coming up, we still learned how to write in cursive like this.
Yeah.
But, like it's like a little clearer when most people write, but
This says she's 47.
Oh wow, okay. The odd, not old. I'm so sorry, you're not old. The odd cephalopod. Thank you for the 7. I had a really hard day, and you guys are making me laugh so much. Especially your laugh. It's glorious, Lauren. Thank you for being your awesome selves. We appreciate you. My throat is starting to hurt from cackling so much. Like it's bad. Like it's bad. Okay, but we're gonna keep going anyways.
Lemon ginger tea.
We're gonna finish this, dude.
Yeah.
All right. To this day. And all forward, I do not forfeit my rights, any of them ever, especially my right to be. Okay, I think she said bold, outspoken, but like it looks like held for a second. Especially my right to be held.
Oh boy.
Especially my right to be bold.
Conjugal visits. Snacks, Pop-Tarts, and conjugal visits, Lauren, right now.
God damn it. Especially my right to be heard, I think. Outspoken and right in my real life experiences with
I think she says bold.
Oh, she does. Okay. Bold, outspoken, and right in my real life experiences with the legal and justice systems. You weren't there, Judge Kranick.
I like how she's like, especially my right to be right. Like, I mean, no, you have to prove that you're right.
Right.
You don't have a right to be right.
Don't be silly, Bruce.
Oh my gosh.
They're Judge Kranick in anything, no meetings, phone calls, visits, and still took my rights and oppressed me harder, Judge Kranick. Is that what she's saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I must now defend myself against you. Imagine if she read this at the sentencing. Her lawyer, like, I know he had to cut this out, but like, it's hilarious. All right. I must defend myself against you, praying you do not care too late as all the others, and retaliate further against me as a still proud citizen of the United States of my America? Is that what it says? United States of my America?
I guess. Like,
and
yeah.
freely,
it's her America. It's like when people say, this is my truth. This is my America.
Of the United States of my America, and freely, excitedly using my God-given rights to still try and defend myself, to stand all the way up. Please sit down, ma'am.
Oh boy.
For you to remove my freedom altogether by allowing and approving my stab wound, bloody body parts, rapes, bumps, bruises, and all the rest of the beatings I endured. I hope you can finally see and understand just some of the pain from the extreme difficulties, obstacles, and unfairness, especially in my due process, you have added in my criminal case and life as an inmate. Yeah. Defendant and client, all is forgiven. The way she uses forgiveness, I forgive you for, just to like air all her grievances, is hilarious.
It's like if you have a paper cut on your arm, and she's like, she comes with the lemon juice and pours it on the paper cut, and she's like, I forgive you.
Yeah,
like, wow, thanks.
Hear me out. Thank you for the $2 right to be bold. Guys, if you don't know my friend Hear Me Out here, he does coverage of the Sarah Boone case, and you should totally check him out. So go ahead and go to his profile, give him a subscribe if you have a chance, because he's pretty funny. And I like to listen in on his lives too. All right, guys. What else have we missed here in the chat? I'm just catching up. Pop-Tarts and conjugal visits. Sounds like a great time. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, equality says has a good point. Nobody asked for her forgiveness. Nobody needs her forgiveness.
Right, but she's granting it to you because she's a fucking narcissist and she thinks that her word is a blessing. All right, let's see. Where do we get to here? We got through all this.
My analogy is no good.
If you difficult obstacles, unfairness, especially my due process, you have added in my criminal case and life as an inmate, defendant, and client, all is forgiven. For detectives, Keepsel and Lowen, I forgive their demonization. Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Here we go.
Wow.
This
Lies.
is our litany of
lies, but underlined.
Problems with the detectives.
Yeah. Demonization, lies, blacklisting, coercion, law breaking, solicitation of my case before I even arrive at the corrections department to be booked and fingerprinted. This can be seen in my unbeknownst interrogation video where I ask what they are doing, what all the pinging was during their texting swarm.
Swarm, oh no!
While I naively sit there waiting to be arrested, which they know would happen, or knew, would happen the day before for Keepswell, for bald face lying on the stand to the judge in court on record. She didn't tell me to come to the station to pick up my phone. Why else would I go? I didn't even know about the surprise interrogation. I mean, you murdered somebody. What do you mean you don't expect an interrogation? Oh my God.
This is very confusing.
It very much is, yeah. I forgive them for also lying how the news showed up to record my walk of shame. So are you admitting it was a walk of shame? All right. Handcuffed and confessed on camera. I forgive them for trying to make me lose from the beginning by stating the unquenchable wildfire of sensationalism. All I can think of is like unquenchable gas at this point.
This is a lot of really sort of literary language that she's using in this paragraph here to really flesh out and expand this section, which to me indicates she doesn't really this is all just claims. And here's the other thing, I think somebody in chat was saying, Tear Dad was saying that, they didn't know they were going to arrest her until the phone was cracked. Maybe she was waiting for the phone or being interviewed about something else. So I feel like there's probably a case here where people are talking past each other or don't have all the information. And what she's doing here is she's concluding that these other people are lying.
Yeah.
Okay. When there could be a misunderstanding, there could be miscommunication, there could be opinions. Okay. To prove a lie, you have to prove that somebody knew the truth and decided not to say the truth. Okay, for nefarious purposes or whatever other purposes. This is much, much less common and harder to prove than somebody just, not having the full information, making a mistake, having an opinion, people talking past each other. She goes straight to, they are clearly lying about me, but she doesn't have the evidence to back that up. So this is very interesting. And then to sort of put the spackle in all of that, she's using this very flowery language, like unquenchable wildfire. I mean, nobody cares about your unquenchable wildfire. We care about the facts.
I mean, I think most of us were here for the unquenchable wildfire, but speak for yourself, bro.
I mean, if I'm out with a special lady friend, maybe I want some unquenchable wildfire, but that's about it. I don't know.
Well, now you have a new term for it. Just Looking. This is Golden. Just subscribe. Y'all are great at this. Thank you very much, Just Looking. We appreciate you for being here. Also, I don't know about the rest of you guys and about Bruce, who's trying to be logical, but I kind of think she's just farting on her hands and then typing the farts into the keyboard or the pen or whatever and just seeing what comes out. That's where I'm at. So I'm just saying. All right.
Yeah, I mean, the unquenchable wildfire could be a side effect of too much Taco Bell. That's accurate.
Unquenchable wildfire. I can't take a shit, but I'm farting all over my hands. All right, we're done here. All right. I forgive them for trying to make me lose from the beginning by starting the unquenchable wildfire of sensationalism and distortion, ignorant hate, defamation, and greed by unlawfully broadcasting who they wanted the world to think I was by their schemes, learned lessons and fraudulent stratagems from the school of manipulation and taking advantage. I don't know like, again, I can't speak for everyone else, but I formed my opinion based on the video of her killing someone by zipping them in a suitcase. So, like, all jokes aside, Sarah, nobody said jack shit to me, and I knew you were guilty. All right. How much did they make off of me and still are for calling it in, then removing the curtain, okay, the curtain to expose their personality, twisted murdering monster. Personally twisted murdering monster. Are you describing yourself? I mean, that's kind of what it sounds like. Also, my forgiveness and greater gold, oh god, a greater gold again, comes from wondering why nothing viable in my defense was taken from my what?
Townhome?
Townhome, okay. I thought it said Tushman.
Wait, I thought she used all her gold on the judge.
No,
we got more gold. I don't know.
No,
We're just finding.
She's accumulating more gold because she's so broken. You know,
this vase has been broken so much. It's all gold. There's no vase left. It's just a gold vase at this point. Oh boy.
All right. AKA the crime scene to aid in my truth, such as the butcher knife, 5-pronged garden claw, or
hammer.
Under
the table.
Under the table together outside where George had easy access for use if I tried to leave or call for help while being held against my will during his rageful binges. I mean, you're the only one who has any evidence of having a rageful binge.
So, is she saying he would have, like, if she had let him out of the suitcase, he would have taken one of those things and injured her with it? Is that her argument?
Know. I guess she's trying to say that the fact that those things were there were proof that she needed to defend herself at all times or something, but it's not flying. Like, it's not giving the actual impression that she means it to give.
Yeah.
Give. Okay. Together outside where George had easy access for use if I tried to leave or call for help while being held against my will during his rageful binges. Or my bloody pillowcase stained from me being backhanded because I hid the magnum-sized bottle of vodka from him. I mean, honestly, you could have bled on that pillowcase for anything. You could have had a nosebleed. I don't fucking know. All right. Why weren't any crime scene photos taken of holes?
Punched?
Patched in walls and doors. Some doors missing knobs and all locks George removed, cracked windows, broken furniture, obvious unnatural destruction in my townhome. How do they know George did that? You probably did that. All right. How and why were these missed, uncared about, or not questioned so I could explain some of my terror? I mean, I'm sure they would have been if you made a viable case.
Did she express any of this terror when they first interviewed her?
I didn't hear that at all, no. It makes no difference. All is forgiven.
Oh, boy.
That is a narcissist trying to pretend to be on the high road right there.
Mm-hmm.
Prosecutors, Mr. J, I think, and Mr. Kakatov? My forgiveness is also extended for your inappropriate attributive negatives.
Narratives.
Oh, my bad. Narratives, but they were negative. For having to go through years of my pictures, videos, text to erroneously piece together your deceitful, damning version of what really happened and who I am. After so much availability and for so long, you were finally able to make the circle fit into the square. It's not that difficult, Sarah. There's a video of you killing the guy. Oh my God. I forgive your antics, theatrics, ludicrous comments to make sure the world got their
money's worth.
Money's worth, okay. While watching with ignorant pitchforks and burning torches, hoping for the best from you, which is my worst. Okay, which is my worst. Instead of dropping the nuke,
Mr. J.
Okay, that's right. Mr. J, you dropped the bat. Okay.
Are they like quoting stuff from the trial or something here?
This handwriting is really hard for me.
Yeah, her handwriting is really degrading here.
Mm-hmm. Maybe she's drunk on the prison hooch. I don't know. For the yelling, finger pointing, and intense underlining to force your theoreticals and fantastics on the jury by using imaginary space adventures and fictional what?
Wait, there
So-
were space adventures and fictional characters?
I don't know. I want to read that though.
What?
To blind and bedazzle them with your far, far away from the truth dramatization.
Dramatization?
Dramatizations. Okay.
Chat, what is this about? There was space adventures and fictional characters?
Did
What?
we miss
Someone
something?
help. What is that about? I want to know more about that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Microphone. Wait, who has a mic? Mike. Okay. One of the words is Mike, I guess.
Mm.
All right. Okay. We did that. Okay. In all of your pieced together productions, I forgive you most for never seeing the light in people, their human goodness, humor, and big hearts. Hilarious that she would say that though, because she's clearly not seeing that in anyone. You wake up to seek out the opposite, to condemn, to take lives in your own way. See the good that does exist in all of us, inherently and unforced, even as the proud Mr. J. It keeps looking like she's saying her or something. The proud Mr. J stated, "The kick dog that bites." Mr.
Yeah, her
J.
M's are very sloppy through this whole thing.
Mr. J, who kicked the dog in the first place, in my wisdom, it's usually best to leave sleeping dogs lie. Then they don't bite. Okay, but then why are you writing this fucking letter? All right. My gold goes out. Oh, she's still talking
Oh,
about
she's
the
still
gold
got
here.
more gold. More gold.
Apparently. My gold goes out to the. She reminds me of Corinne from Nick Vial's season. That's like a running joke. My platinum vagine thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Hers is gold.
I guess
I was
so.
gonna say she has more gold than those afternoon ads on like the Lifetime channel about buying gold.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. My gold goes out to the jury for not understanding my crimes, from being blinded from the injustice and malpractice in all of the judicial and prosecutorial
errors. Oh wow.
The very apparent violations of my constitutional rights during my case and entire trial, which caused mass confusion and dysfunction. She's like, I forgive
because the jury is a bunch of idiots who can't possibly make up their mind themselves, right?
I forgive the jury for being so dumb.
Yeah, basically, that's what this whole paragraph is.
My
The
God.
jury was too stupid to see all the horrible things that were happening to me.
That's a bad one. Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh, she's still going. Okay.
Oh yeah. I think it's page 19. We'll probably get back to where she got in the live court.
Yeah. I forgive the jury truly for being wary from this confusion and dysfunction.
Oh,
also
they're just
from
confused.
Also from being hungry and tired and wanting to go home to their families after being away from in full capacity for 2 full weeks. I understand.
2 weeks.
From
oh my
this
gosh.
and their brash, misguided, corrupted decision, I was wrongfully judged a murderer instead of a survivor. For this, all is forgiven. For this, I can still survive and stand tall, having an even greater, the greatest opportunity to finally be understood in the Supreme Court for my appeal.
Oh boy. You know who that sounds like, of course.
Laura Owens. I didn't lose. God just wanted me to win in a different way. It's about God now, guys. It's about Jesus Christ himself.
Yeah. You can always this is what we call a non-falsifiable claim. Like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to win. I'm just not supposed to win this way, so I'll win the next way. Like there's no way to disprove this claim. It's just like Gingras saying like there's no way in hell we can lose the appeal. This sentence is the same thing. It's the same thing.
Rogue Mama, this is a new letter. She wrote it on Friday the 6th, so 5 days ago. It includes a lot of her statement from the sentencing hearing, but she wanted the judge to make sure everybody saw all of it, not just the parts that her lawyer edited. So it's unhinged. Like, this is unhinged. So crazy.
I like the little heart she put after
freedom and forgiveness. That's so stupid, dude.
Oh dear. Okay.
And
so here we go. I think we're back to what she actually said in court.
Probably. We have only 5 pages left, so we'll see if
Mhm.
she says anything new. In the end, I forgive myself for not choosing my life sooner, for not being more brave, vigilant, bolder, and outspoken, stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, for being hopeless, desperate, simple-minded, weak, and inexperienced. I forgive myself for not realizing I was enduring a life of domestic violence and that the vicious cycle of never ends. Does it say of never ends?
I think maybe she did she cross it out?
Maybe. I
Oh,
don't know.
and that the vicious cycle of never ends. I mean, this is very awkwardly written. Like,
Yeah.
if you were editing this, you'd change it, but it is what it is.
Well, that's why her lawyer didn't let her say everything.
Well, I mean, also, she's handwriting this. If she did draft 2, she'd have to do a whole other paper draft.
I don't doubt that she would do it. I
Yeah.
had nothing to compare to you. I've never been hit by a man ever before in my life, and I'm not convinced that she has to this point. I was raised hitting a woman was
Mhm. Wrong.
wrong. Okay, and should never happen.
Mhm.
No excuse. I
Right.
forgive myself for not escaping permanently, for not fighting back sooner to save myself, my son, my dogs, home, and car, having 2020 hindsight thinking of everything I could have done differently or better to avoid the outcome. I think about this every day since. Also, of all the good
Yeah.
days we had together, for him at least, while I was constantly in my
Hyperdrive.
in hyperdrive, high alert and paranoid, making sure I did everything right all the time. I know if not the great possibility I would be ended, as George threatened me with so many times before. What? Is she drunk? Uh,
It's just
I don't know. I forgive myself for falling in love with a monster. Fuck you for saying that, by the way. And no matter how grotesque he may have become, I still loved, hoped, and forgave. Forgave. Sorry, I'm trying to read in her voice here.
very hard.
Loved, hoped, and forgave. I'm really not good at the cursive reading. I tried breaking the spell so he wouldn't be a monster anymore. I saw who he was inside. George made me then, now, and always love him. Is that what it says?
Mhm.
Okay. For all of his cracks, also.
Mhm.
Okay. We made each other our own brilliant pieces of art from the cracks and repairs.
That's
Unfortunately,
interesting
yeah.
because
Un-
she spends so much time talking about all the horrible things everybody did to her.
oh, for real.
And here's it's a little reflexive, indicating that maybe subconsciously she realized she did horrible things to him too.
Hmm. Tear Dad says, watch all her videos. She treated him like a pet, not a person. She's
Mhm.
disgusting, abusive creep. I agree with you. For what I've seen, I watched some of them, and honestly, like I was like, this is too upsetting. I don't want to watch the rest. And
Mhm.
it takes a lot for me to get to that point too. So that should say something because like I've seen a lot. I'm used to dealing with a lot, hearing a lot. Like you go into the ER, you might see like really grotesque, awful things. So like if it gets to a point where I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I don't even want to see this. That means something's really bad. So, in my opinion, she is a terrible person. Obviously, and what she did was terrible and abusive and wrong. BS, thank you for the 10. This is why we love you. Your humor and commentary keeps us coming back. Thank you very much, BS. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. All right, let's keep going. We're on 24 or 28, so we're almost done, guys. Okay. In all of my forgiveness, George is my greatest lesson and will forever be a part of me. I think of him every day and still speak to him when alone in the rec yard. I ask his forgiveness and that he leaves for me at the gates of heaven. Or what is
Looks
see?
for me.
Looks for me. Okay. He looks for me at the gates of heaven. So I can tell him how sorry I am endlessly and that I never stopped loving him in all of it and still. Okay. When I first came to jail, I put my mat, is it say mat? Under
Mhm.
my bed and cried all day and all night for months, only falling asleep from being so exhausted with grief. I wrote him letters. I wrote his family and his daughters apologizing and asking for their forgiveness. But due to fear that my life or sons would be jeopardized, I did not send.
Send.
Okay, Sarah. I am
And,
sorry.
notice in that one, that's another one where it's like, oh, I was totally going to do this. And then they don't do it, which is sort of like, oh, I was going to see the doctor, but I didn't see that. I canceled the appointment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of stuff happens.
Sorry, go
That's
ahead.
sort of like, oh, I had this intent to do the right thing,
Yeah.
but then they didn't. And this comes up over and over again in these cases.
Yeah. Rachel D says, I think the comment section should be filled with all the things we forgive ourselves for.
Oh boy.
Ronkel's comments was, if he was at the gates of heaven when she got there, it was with a chain and padlock to keep her out.
Yeah, and that's the other thing you notice with this. The one that really got me was in the hearing. It wasn't her statement, but it was the guy who was like her pen pal who called in to support her or whatever.
Mhm.
And he was like, "Oh, she told me, the guy in the wheelchair who needed a kidney." And he's like, "Oh, Sarah told me she would give me a kidney if she could, but she can't 'cause she's in prison." And I'm like, "Well, that's meaningless, dude. Like, you can make a promise that you'll never have
Right.
to keep. Like, oh, if once I'm in heaven, I'll do X, Y, and Z." Okay. And it's like, you're never going to have to validate that you actually did that. It's the whole pledge versus donate.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember who the witness was. They're saying in chat it was a lady who needed the kidney.
Okay.
Sorry, I got that wrong. But still the whole thing is like she's making a promise that she knows she doesn't ever have to deliver on. And that happens over and over again in these cases.
Yeah. For sure. 1 second, guys. I'm just trying to fix something real quick. There we go. All right. Wait, this comment was funny. Seems like she came from under her bed and pulled herself together once she realized she could make some bathtub gin under that mattress.
Oh, sounds
All right.
good.
All right, let's keep going, guys. We're almost to the finish line. All right. Almost everything reminds me of him, seeing my stab wound every day, especially. It truly reminds me all I really did live through. George haunts me. He is everywhere. I believe because I do still love him, think of him, and miss his laugh the most.
Yes.
And in my heart, I know he is with me and understands that this tragedy was not intentional. Are you fucking kidding me? You're insane. Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't imagine doing that. I can't imagine saying that. This letter is just nuts. I hope everyone can, his family foremost. I didn't mean for this to happen. Please wholeheartedly know that, and always, I would never. You fucking did. What do you mean you would never?
Yeah, that's not a good sentence.
Nope.
At the end. I mean, she was almost like, I didn't mean for this to happen. It was a mistake. I'm really sorry. I'm really repentant. This is what she's supposed to be saying in this
Right.
sort of time period, this judgment period. And she just can't stick to that. She's got to add all this other litany of nonsense.
Right. This is so crazy, man. Winks, make sure you have all hit the like button. Yes, please, guys. Thank you very much if you can hit the like button for me. And thank you, mods, for being here. Especially, I just made some new mods in the chat. So thank you guys for helping me out. All right. Forgive me, George. Forgive me, Torres family. Forgive me, Judge Granick. To the entire planet, forgive me. Forgiveness denied, lady, until you really take responsibility for what you've done. Just saying. All right. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration for forgiveness to be extended instead of judgment, for reconciliation and restoration for all of us to move forward. No, this is my problem with people like this, with people like Sarah, with people like David. You don't get to shit on somebody. You don't get to murder somebody and then just be like, let's move on. No. Justice needs to be served before that can happen. You don't get to hurt people and then be like, well, we should all just let it go. No, fuck you. Fuck you. All right? Everybody has a right to want justice for their situation. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, I sound like a broken record, but trust is hard to gain, easy to lose. So when you lose it, you have to spend a lot of time regaining it, and you have to do a lot of work to regain it. And that work hasn't happened in
Mm-mm.
this case, or in the Gingras case, in terms of the people he needs to apologize to.
Right.
And
Everybody.
you can't just like write 18 pages of like my Festivus airing of my grievances and then be like, oh, by the way, guys, JK, please forgive me.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I graciously and humbly ask for consideration for forgiveness. Blah blah blah. My apology is. Is this a profuse and ceaseless?
Hmm.
Okay, profuse and ceaseless. I have never heard anyone worded like that, but okay. My
She
apology is
she
profuse and
is
ceaseless.
like she should be. I don't know. She must have like a brand deal with Roger's Thesaurus or something. I mean, I don't know what else explains it here.
Right. All right.
Oh,
Allow me to please brush off the muck, wipe the blood off my face, and fix the
cuts in my skin.
cuts. Okay, cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long. Well, the thing is, you were convicted of murder, and none of that actually happened, apparently. So, for second chances, repentance, and redemption to advocate for all domestic violence survivors. I cannot stand people who exploit the experience of people who have actually been abused to try to make a plea for themselves. You are an absolute dog shit awful person. You are the worst human being that you could be, in my opinion. Like, as somebody who's been through, some kind of abuse that I don't like to talk about that much, you are a piece of fucking shit for exploiting domestic violence survivors right here explicitly, especially to try to make your case. Fuck you. Sincerely, fuck you. And you're an asshole. All right. To help them overcome, heal, and still hope always to make their voices heard, to confidently walk with all of their scars on the outside and inside. To help them not ever become a casualty. Casualty of domestic violence as so many others, to stop the abuse and maltreatment. Is it say maltreatment? Yeah. Before it is too late. There is always hope. You can survive. Not if you zip them up in a fucking suitcase, Sarah. In my soft-spoken conclusion, I asked this. Would I be...
If I saw, like, if you have to tell someone you have a soft-spoken conclusion, you don't have a soft-spoken conclusion.
Yo, for real, though. Oh, my God. Special KL, thank you for the $5 super sticker. Karen Karsten, thank you for the 5. I forgive anyone in the chat who hasn't hit the like and subscribe button yet. For real. And I think I read this one from BS earlier, but just in case, thank you for the 10.
Oh yeah.
Commentary.
I like the goofy emoji at the end.
Yeah, for real. All right. Let's see. Okay. Would I be the in my soft-spoken conclusion, I asked this. Would I be the daring, did it say darling or daring?
Darling mother? Celebrated woman of the year?
Woman of the year?
Uh-huh.
What planet are you living on? Like,
nobody is saying that this dude that died was the darling father, celebrated man of the year. People, most people agree he probably did some bad things.
I mean, honestly,
this is just a speculative, this is just speculation, conjecture.
I will say this. Not everyone who is arrested or not everyone who is booked for a crime is a bad person. Mm-hmm. Not everyone who is arrested for a crime did the crime. So, I have no actual negative opinions of Jorge Torres whatsoever. I don't believe he abused Sarah Boone. That's just what I believe. That's based on the evidence, what I've seen. I don't believe Jorge Torres abused Sarah Boone. No. Okay. Would I be the darling mother, celebrated woman of the year if it were I who died? No. Still no. You're still an asshole. All right. How many daughters, mothers, sisters, aunts, grandmothers, nieces, and friends have been because they did?
I mean, she's playing the gender card here, right?
Yeah, it's not working, dude. Not working for you. You might want to try something else. All right. Oh my God. She's not just a narcissist. She's a bad narcissist. Yeah. She's bad at this.
Here's the problem. If somebody came to me and they said, "Hey, I'm an abuse victim. Please help me," I would drop everything and do what I could do to help them. Okay. The minute you start making these claims like this one, where you're like, hey, I'm an abuse victim and this guy needs to die, go to prison, go to jail, be arrested.
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, now I've got two people. Who do I believe? And this is where it gets really tough. It's where it gets tough, guys, because there's sometimes that you don't have enough information to make a great conclusion.
All right, we are in the home stretch here, guys. IB0093, Bruce and Lauren's commentary made me stay to the end. No way I could read this on my own. Thank you for sticking around with us. This has been an exhausting read. Bruce has to help me every other word with the spelling. I mean, I don't know what's going on.
This, there's a lot. When you read through this things, like everybody has their own experience and they're all going to remember things from their own past, or everybody has their own experience. They have their own perspective, their own mindset. And this is an emotionally taxing sort of thing to read through. So it's true.
Brooke J, I think George was a massive alcoholic. I really don't think he was abusive to Sarah. And on some level, I agree. I don't know. I couldn't really say if George was a massive alcoholic, but I think it's possible. I think it is not uncommon for people who feel stuck in abusive relationships to turn to alcohol to try to ease their pain. And it's really just because they're just trying to survive. It's not because, they want to hurt anybody or because they think it's a good idea. They just, they want to numb the pain a little bit. And that's sometimes when you're in that situation, that's all you feel like you can do. And that doesn't make you a terrible person at all. It doesn't. So, all right, let's like I said, we're in the home stretch. Learn to do good, seek justice, rebuke the oppressor, defend the fatherless, plead for the widow. Isaiah. Okay.
This is like a Hallmark greeting card insert or something.
We're quoting the Bible now. My bad.
Oh,
guys.
boy.
All-encompassing, protect the abused. Sarah Boone. Okay, so 12/2/24. So I guess 12/6 is when it was received and processed.
Oh, look at the script, though. She gets the double line script and everything. And
yeah, dude.
Makes it look like a
card.
And
then here's the... She addressed it to Mr. Michael Kranick, not Judge Michael Kranick, Mr. Michael Kranick.
Legal mail. Oh, boy.
Yeah, dude. For real. That was
This
wild.
is so legal. Oh, I'm going. Oh, there we are.
You're good.
Like how she put legal mail. Like this is not a court motion.
If it's not a legal requirement, no one would read it.
This is not a minute entry. This is not a motion to compel lunch.
Well, she also needs to make sure the public will see it, so she can't just write it privately,
Yeah.
Like, she can't just send a letter to a family member or something being like, "Hey, how you doing? This is why the sentencing was wrong." No, I have to announce to the public why my
motion to
abuser
compel
is a
the
piece of
public
shit.
to listen to my jank.
That's one way to put it. Oh my gosh, that was so. I really didn't think that was going to take 2 hours, but here we are. Thanks for sticking it out.
That was a big letter.
I was not understanding some of what she was writing at all. Like it was so hard.
Yeah, cursive. Yeah. So, parts of it looked like her handwriting was kind of falling apart. I don't know.
Yeah.
She was doing with a notepad or whatever.
I rebuke you in the name of Sarah.
Oh boy.
Oh shit. Well, that's never a good sign, is it? Julia 543. Well, yeah, it has to be a letter to the judge because she knows they are entered in the court record, and that's what this is all about. She's a narcissist. She needs to be seen as superior somehow, or she needs to at least feel like she's going to be seen as superior. That's what she wants. She doesn't care about what Judge Kranick thinks, or Mr. Kranick, as she says. She does not care about what he thinks. She does not care if he accepts her weird forgiveness over nothing, him doing his job. She just, she just wants to be seen as I'm better than everyone else. And it is impossible for her with her pathology, from what and this is obviously my opinion, like I keep saying, it is her pathology to continuously distort a situation to make herself look better, because that's the only way she can see it. It's not a delusion per se. Like, she knows what happened, but she kind of twists the details in order to make herself look better. Yeah. It's not like she doesn't really believe what she's saying, but she knows how to spin it, if that makes sense.
I mean, if I get a new hat, I can take 10 different pictures of myself at different angles, right? And then I can pick the one that's the best and put it on Instagram. Right?
Would you show us the pictures if you happen to do that? Would you display them all, and can I pick one, or what's going on there?
My selfies?
Yeah, do I get to see them or all? Or
you want to be my Instagram husband? Is that what you're saying?
Am I the husband? I thought you would be the husband. If you want to be the wife, that's fine. I thought maybe just
That's
naturally,
just the
given our
term from.
situation, that
Oh
you would be the
boy,
husband. But if you're insisting that the roles be reversed,
guys, I'm in danger. I need help, chat. I need help.
I mean, I agree you need help. I don't think it has anything to do with me, though. Oh,
Ooh.
man. Oh, my gosh. Wait, what's a toque? What is a toque?
Let's Google that. That's a woman's small hat. You know, like those little tiny bucket hat looking things? I don't know. It's a close fitting knitted hat. Oh,
Nick
maybe they're saying my
O'Brien.
hat is a close fitted hat. I don't know.
Yep, that's you. Nick O'Brien.
This is from the.
Bruce is getting wifed up.
I
And
mean,
then
yeah.
Celeste Sims says,
You know,
"Hey, Bruce and
Lauren's my
Lauren."
work wife.
I totally though. Like actually though, like you're the closest thing I have to work husband.
That's right.
Hey, Bruce and Lauren, what do you know about social media marketing? I'm going to study to get a certificate for the industry. Absolutely nothing. Don't be like me. I don't know what I'm doing. Just like don't do what I'm doing.
Ooh,
I don't know.
social media marketing.
Yeah.
If I knew something about that, I'd probably, I don't know,
I
have
think
more
we'd
people
both be
watching my
doing.
channel. I don't
Yeah, we would both be doing a lot better if we had any idea how to do that. It's all just like Google and shit. Like I don't know what I'm doing.
Social media marketing.
But
All I know,
please,
all I know about social media marketing is like Dave Neal making fucked up faces for his thumbnails for his videos every day.
those are like my favorite clips. But if you do figure out something about marketing that we need to know, please tell us for free. All
Yeah.
right. All right, everybody. I gotta go because it is almost 11 o'clock here, and I need to eat dinner and go to bed. So tomorrow I may be doing a members only stream. If not, it'll be Friday. I'm going to talk about the bathtub killer here in Florida. If you don't know what that is, a woman named Kelsey Glover is accused of drowning her own daughter. The thing is, days prior to the drowning, she deprived her disabled diabetic daughter of her insulin, forced her to be sick.
Oh my
the
gosh.
roommate tried to save her, and Kelsey Glover threatened to kill the roommate with a hammer because that's how badly she wanted to kill her kid. And I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about criminal incompetence, legal incompetence to stand trial, and the difference between that and like an actual psychopath. So we'll get into that
interesting.
we'll get into that
Okay.
either tomorrow or Friday. We'll see. I'm not sure yet. I might need another break tomorrow because honestly, things have been chaotic lately and I have
Sure.
other stuff to do. So I just want to play Lego Fortnite and chill out now. But thanks everybody. Appreciate you. And
This one
also I
does.
will be doing, I think I want to say, let me look at this calendar one sec. I think on the 20th, I will be doing a Christmas stream. If I change the date, I'll let you know. We'll be doing Quiplash together, and anyone
Ooh.
who wins a game of Quiplash during the Christmas stream will get a free prize from the merch store. I will send it to you. So it'll be a good time. I think we'll like it. Bruce is a kind of a champ at Quiplash, but
Come for me, bros.
somebody's totally gonna beat him. It's fun. So
I think Big Johnson's the only one who can beat me on the regular.
thank you, Nick. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for being here. We will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.
Word.